These words are all familiar to all of you. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I'm opening with this because your discussion today is on the developmentally disabled. And just because someone is developmentally disabled does not mean that they should not enjoy all the rights that the citizens of this great country enjoy.
This package, in addition to Senate Bill 626, which you'll hear next week, provides critical, common sense, and cost-effective fixes to the current system. Although Oregon has made great progress in improving DD services over the past decade, there are still critical gaps that prevent Oregonians with developmental disabilities from choosing where they live and the services they receive.
As a support service provider and advocate, I feel that our state can do a better job in supporting people with developmental disabilities to live with dignity, autonomy, and choice. I know that the services I provide are invaluable to the people I work with. I see it every day in their growth as individuals and in their integration in our community. What really drives me is knowing that we are paving a path to a more inclusive society.
I'm here to ask for your support of Senate Bill 559. I'm a direct support provider in a group home owned by Bethesda Lutheran Communities in Portland. I have seen many people with developmental disabilities be ignored and not given a choice of where to live, and I believe this is fundamentally wrong. Everyone, regardless of whether or not they have a developmental disability, should be given the right to choose where they rest their head at night. After Fairview closed in 2000, 4 people moved into a Bethesda group home where I worked. A 5th person was placed in there as well. None of these 5 people were given a choice of where to live or which roommates they could live with. In fact, some of the individuals had behaviors that negatively impacted the other residents, causing them distress. All of these people were nonverbal and could not self-advocate.
After the frustrating experience of trying to maneuver the DD system, family providers like me are deeply concerned with the lack of transparency and choice in out-of-home comprehensive services like group homes. We need a DD system that is more transparent. Senate Bill 559 helps move us in that direction by requiring case managers to provide people with developmental disabilities the opportunity to select from at least 3 placement options. This will help ensure that my son and all other Oregonians with developmental disabilities have a real voice in determining where they live and receive services.
Prior to becoming an adult foster home provider, I worked for 6 years in group homes. Many of the residents that I cared for would be great candidates for adult foster care. In fact, I currently care for an individual that has a similar diagnosis and similar issues as to one I cared for in a group home. When comparing the similar care needs for these individuals, the group home would receive approximately $3,000 more per month than what I receive for a similar individual. This disparity in rates between clients is based on the type of home and not the services needed, and is very disheartening to both me and some of the other care providers I have spoken with. Senate Bill 641 will begin to address these concerns by requiring the use of a uniform assessment tool in DD services.
Senate Bill 626 would expand the long-term care of Ombudsman's program to cover people with developmental disabilities and health issues. I provide in my time with Bethesda, I've seen several situations where it would have been useful to call an ombudsman. For example, on my very first day of work at the group home in Bethesda, I witnessed a coworker abuse several of the residents. She smacked one person on the head, flicked water at another person to wake them up, and encouraged another resident to hit himself in the head. I was shocked by my coworker's behavior, but knew from the recent training that I had to report it right away, and I did. Unfortunately, my report put my own job in jeopardy, and as I became an outcast among several of the more senior people I worked with. The coworker whom I reported attempted to pressure me to minimize the abuse I witnessed, and I was told that my job would be on the line if I did not tell the investigator what she wanted me to say. I was scared not only for my job, but also for the residents who were depending on me and the rest of the other staff to keep them safe and free from harm. Had an ombudsman been in place, I could have made sure that the residents had an independent agency to provide a voice and advocate for their safety.